All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Sad day in the world of music slash television slash DJing. That's the way I look at it. As Howard Hesseman, the man who played Dr. Johnny Fever on WKRP, has passed away at the age of 81. And they're saying it's because of complications from colon surgery. Um, Howard Hesseman was one of these inspirational characters, a little bit stoned most of the time, just saying. And that was a big deal for television back in 1978. The show aired from 78 to 82, and I was pretending to be a DJ as much as possible before I went off to college and then became a DJ, which again, on college radio back in those days was kind of a thing. It wasn't a big thing, but it was certainly a stepping stone and a way to kind of learn the ropes. These characters on WKRP were so amazing. They were so iconic. You had Howard Hesseman, then you had Tim Reed, who was just outstanding as Venus Flytrap. And those two guys, when they got together, I was always watching when those two guys would be in the room because there was some crazy stuff that would probably happen. You get the two stone DJs together and they're just letting it fly. You know what I mean? There's some great moments. Obviously, if you're a fan of the show, and I've got the t-shirt to prove it, I do watch the famous turkey drop episode right before Thanksgiving every year. I mean, I have to. It's kind of like watching Die Hard now on Christmas Eve. That's become a thing. You're thinking, you should be watching It's a Wonderful Life. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that a few times. And Die Hard is more interesting. And, you know, I could be tuning into like the Hallmark channel or something for Thanksgiving to watch some family homecoming thing. But nope, I'm watching Les Nessman try to read the banner, you know, and they're back in the studio. And Howard Hesseman, just incredible. like the parking lot gets bombed, film at 11. I mean, they won't make a show like this ever again. And I know this is like the old guy on the lawn routine where, hey, everything just sucks now when I was a kid. But what a great show. 4 years, CBS, you guys blew it. You should have ran that show for another 6. Imagine all the stuff that happened in the 1980s that you could have incorporated into that. And just for perspective, right? The show had legitimate characters because I worked in radio and there was a sales weasel, right? He could have been named Herb. He wasn't, but he could have been. There was a goofy and sort of out of touch station manager. There was a know-it-all program director, right? Although his character wasn't Travis, right? Wasn't nearly as bad as the people that I was affiliated with. You had Bailey Quarters, who handled like the coffee and the billing and the traffic director. And then, of course, you had Lonnie Anderson, who was there, who didn't represent any of the radio stations I went to work for, but would have been nice to have Lonnie there to greet people. Her character, though, I'm sure inspired a lot of teenage boys to tune in to that show, in addition to Johnny and Venus. I mean, this show had everything. And then, of course, Les Nessman, right? The humanity. Just a great show. And Howard Hesseman, just a great actor in that role. Howard was a DJ back in the 1960s. So he had training. All he had to do was just pretend he was a DJ again. And he didn't really have to do a whole lot of work in that situation. It was just him acting naturally, I'm sure. This is a show that a lot of people just love. It's wacky, it's zany. And losing Howard Hesseman is just a reminder of better times. I mean, the country wasn't doing all that well in those times. And we had, you know, record inflation, sounds familiar. We had gas lines, we don't have gas lines, but we certainly have increased pricing. And there was a kind of a malaise, if you remember, back in 1978, 1979. And this show was just like a ray of sunshine amidst all of the gloom and doom. So anyway, of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to Howard Hesseman's family, all of his fans, and quite honestly, all of the wannabe DJs like me who became a DJ thanks to people like Howard Hesseman, who inspired me along the way. I mean, if he can do it, I can do it, right? And I'm just a kid watching TV, but all that stuff, it's kind of like when somebody saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, they were like, that's what I want to do. And I was certainly in that camp when it came to watching WKRP. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. And so many other people, I'm sure, felt the same way. All right, that is the video. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon.